How you doing, Hamisu? Good evening. Welcome back.
Good evening, Hamid.
I said you guys will be playing.
Well,
Real Madrid will be playing Borussia Dortmund in the quarterfinal, yeah. But the thing is that we're expecting the Bellingham show. That's between the senior Bellingham and the junior Bellingham. But the other one decided to get a look at, and now he's suspended for this game. So no Bellingham, no battle of the Bellinghams. There's no battle of the Bellinghams. So, but what we have is
yeah.
Manchester United. I say Manchester United, Real Madrid versus Borussia Dortmund. The last time you guys met was in the Champions League final. So, do you feel that Borussia Dortmund are out for revenge this time around? Because you guys stopped them from winning Champions League for the third time, right? For the third time in their history, but now they are playing you guys in the quarterfinal in the FIFA Club World Cup. So, what are you expecting? Do you feel that these guys are going to come out like, okay, guys, we have to eliminate these guys? They knocked us out in the Champions League.
Of course, they are going to come out, and they have a case to make against Madrid. So I believe it's not a match that any Madrid fan or the Madrid players will underestimate. Any opponent from this time going up is not an opponent that you underestimate. Whether it's Palmeiras, whether it's any club, it's not an opponent that you underestimate. For simple underestimation, is what may likely cost you your game and all that. So I don't think Madrid. And again, I think I saw this thing from the president where he mentioned that. I think he has mentioned it to the players that they should treat that this Club World Cup is just like a Champions League. And for the club president to tell Madrid players that they should know that he wants the Club World Cup.
Yeah.
So, and I believe that's how the players are going to react. And I even saw it somewhere that if Madrid happens to win the Club World Cup, that each player is going to get a bonus of $1 million or something like that, like 1 million euros. I don't know which.
That's from Real Madrid.
So, yes, from Real Madrid, each player that the president is going to, that the management is going to give them. So I don't know if it's reliable or not. But one thing that I know is that for sure is that from this time forward, the players, the coach, the management, everybody, the sport fans are going to treat every game as a final. And be as it may, Borussia Dortmund will come out for revenge, as you have said. But in the end, it's quality and luck and everything that we can say as a football attribute is what will matter in the end. And again, if you look at, I think they have one of the best strikers. They have one of the best strikers.
Now,
Gurasi. They have one of the best strikers. So our defenders are going to be supposed to be on the watch out, on the lookout for him, because any small mistake, that guy will just convert. So it's not a walkover as some Madrid fans are looking at it. Even though the last 4 meetings I think we've had with Borussia Dortmund, we have been able to come out on top against them. The last 4 meetings. I don't know. I haven't looked beyond that, but the last 4 meetings I've had, we have been on top of them. So, but this one is another entire different game. This is another game entirely. So, I believe the players, everybody's going to take it. And again, I think some of our players are also back. Militao is back. Kawayal is back. I don't know if
talking about players that are back. Talking about players that are back. Mbappe is also back, but now I believe XABIALONSO is in a dilemma now. Like looking at it, like Gonzalo Garcia, right, is the most informed striker in the team. He's the most informed striker in the team. But Mbappe is a bigger player than Gonzalo Garcia. So now,
of course.
Are you expecting Alonso to go with the same starting level that is starting Gonzalo as the number 9, or switching now? Okay, now that we're meeting a team like Borussia Dortmund, we need a more experienced player. Yeah, if I'm permitted to say that, a more experienced player like Mbappe to lead the attack. So now, is he going to do you think Alonso is going to overlook at form? He's going to overlook form and go for experience.
Seriously, that's what all of us are waiting to see. I think every Madrid fan out there that's the dilemma out there. That is what every Madrid fan is watching out to see. And the dilemma is not even about, it's not just about Mbappe and Gonzalo Garcia. There's also the dilemma that, some Madrid fans were suggesting that maybe probably he was going to play 3-4-3, so that you accommodate Gonzalo Garcia and Mbappe at the same time.
But now last show you
But
said if it's not broken, don't fix it. So why do you think he's going
no,
to
I understand that. Given that Mbappe is back, that is the foul. So should I say that's the theory? But so there's always room for you to experiment, because I believe we are still on the experimental stage with XABIALONSO. He's still in that experimental stage with the team. So I feel that if he's going with the 3-4-3, then the dilemma is going to be at the midfield, whether it's going to be Valverde, Bellingham, or Adagula, Bellingham, or Adagula, Valverde, because Adagula is also a major catalyst in the team. So that's why I said the dilemma is in two places. If he's going to use Mbappe, and the dilemma is not just with Mbappe and Gonzalo Garcia, but I guess that's what we're going to watch out for next tomorrow when we see the lineup. We'll see. But one thing that I know is that he's going to stick with what he feels is going to work out for him. So there's tendency that we might see Vinicius Mbappe up front. There's tendency that we might see Vinicius Gonzalo up front. I don't know. But that's one good thing about, having coaches like this. Sometimes they tend to be unpredictable. You don't know what's going to happen. So many people might be betting on Mbappe being the starting striker, and then something might happen and you might not see Mbappe. So he might decide to start with Gonzalo Garcia, and then maybe immediately in the second half he will introduce Mbappe. So I think it's a win-win, provided that the most important is to have the win at the end. That is the most important thing. Whether it's Mbappe, whether it's Gonzalo Garcia. And if you look at even the game that Mbappe played last, given that it was, I think, his first game in the Club World Cup, he was a little bit rough and all that. So, but I've seen so many, I've seen his trainings. I think Mbappe had a personal training with XABIALONSO. They had this personal, training and all that with the coach.
Okay.
So there's tendency that we might see him start. Maybe in the 70th minute, you bow out for Gonzalo Garcia to finish up. I don't know. But that's the dilemma. Should I say, that's the surprise for all of us. If we see Mbappe, fine. If we don't see Mbappe, then we watch out and see what's going to happen in the next, in the lineups.
Okay, so finally, before we go, talking about the results, what's your final prediction? What do you think will happen? Possible outcome? Score line?
Yeah, just like the Juventus game, I'm not, even though we have, what should I say? Seydou Guirassy is so far one of the best strikers in this Club World Cup. But I will still not expect high. I don't expect it to be a high scoring game. So there's tendency that it might be just like I predicted the other time, 2-1 in favor of Madrid, or maybe 1-0 in favor of Madrid. It's all a possibility. But I don't see it as a high-scoring game, seriously. I don't see it as a high-scoring, because I believe each team is going to be very, very careful in their approach, not to concede a lot.
It's the quarterfinal, yeah.
And all that. So I don't see it as a high-scoring.
All right, Hamisu, thank you very much for joining me. We'll see you next time.
All right. Thank you very much.